Legs. Body shots have now officially.
What does it take to be a champion? Discover the inspiring journey of Ilia Topuria, where every punch tells a story of grit and glory. Ilia Topuria's journey in mixed martial arts, MMA, is a story of hard work and passion. Born on January 21, 1997, in Borjomi, Georgia, Topuria grew up in a family that valued sports. From a young age, he showed interest in physical activities, which set him on the path to martial arts. When he was a child, Topuria began training in wrestling and grappling. After moving to Spain with his family, he continued to pursue martial arts, learning judo and Brazilian jiu-jitsu. His dedication to training helped him stand out in the local sports community. Topuria started competing in local tournaments, where he showcased his skills in grappling and striking. His natural talent, combined with his determination, allowed him to improve quickly. He spent many hours training, focusing on becoming a well-rounded athlete. In 2015, he decided to take a big step and turn professional in MMA. This was the start of his journey as a fighter. He worked hard to find opportunities to compete, gaining experience and building a strong reputation. His commitment to training and self-improvement played a key role in his success. In 2020, Topuria signed with the Ultimate Fighting Championship, a major milestone in his career. This allowed him to fight on a global stage and challenge himself against top opponents. His journey from a young boy in Georgia to a rising star in the UFC shows how dedication and hard work can lead to achieving dreams. Best fights of Ilia Topuria's. On July 6, 2019, Ilia Topuria entered the cage to face Stephen Goncalves.
Take the action. We're underway here at round one.
In a highly anticipated match at West Coast Warriors, WCW. The air was thick with excitement as fans packed the arena, eager to see if Topuria could deliver another stunning performance. This fight was important for Topuria. A victory would help him establish himself as a knockout artist before making his move to the UFC. As the fight began, Topuria felt the weight of the moment. He knew he had to make a statement. The bell rang, and both fighters circled each other looking for openings. The tension in the crowd was palpable, and everyone held their breath, waiting for the action to unfold. Topuria quickly assessed Garvey's movements. He felt confident, knowing he had trained hard for this moment. Just a minute into the first round, Topuria launched forward, throwing quick jabs to test Garvey's defense. The crowd roared with each punch landed, and the atmosphere crackled with anticipation. Then, in a split second, Topuria saw his chance. Garvey left an opening as he tried to counterattack. Without hesitation, Topuria unleashed a powerful right hook.
His back off that cage.
Oh, he gets caught!
The blow connected with Garvey's chin, and time seemed to freeze. The crowd gasped as Garvey staggered back, visibly shaken. Topuria sensed victory was near. He moved in fast, not giving Garvey a moment to recover. With a flurry of punches, he cornered his opponent against the cage. The crowd erupted in cheers as Topuria delivered one last devastating blow, a clean left hook that sent Garvey crashing to the mat. The referee jumped in to stop the fight, and the arena exploded with excitement. Topuria had won by knockout in round one. Emotions rushed over him as he celebrated, knowing this victory was crucial in building his reputation as a knockout artist. This fight marked a turning point in Topuria's career. With this impressive win, he proved he was a serious contender and set the stage for his future in the UFC. The crowd's cheers echoed in his ears, a clear sign that Ilia Topuria was a fighter to watch. On October 10, 2020, Ilia Topuria stepped into the octagon for his highly anticipated UFC debut against Youssef Zalal. The excitement in the arena was electric, as fans wondered if Topuria could make an impact in the UFC after establishing himself as a knockout artist in earlier fights. As the fight began, Topuria felt a mix of nerves and determination. The bell rang, and both fighters quickly started exchanging strikes. Topuria focused on finding his rhythm, showing off his skill and speed. The The crowd roared with every exchange, fully engaged in the action. Throughout the fight, Topuria took control. He moved with confidence, landing precise punches and showcasing his grappling abilities. Zalal fought hard, but Topuria's combination of striking and strategy kept him ahead. With every round, it became clear that Topuria was in command. When the final bell rang, the judges' scorecards confirmed his victory. Topuria won by unanimous decision, with all three judges scoring it 30-27 in his favor. The crowd erupted in cheers, celebrating the beginning of Topuria's journey in the UFC. This fight marked a significant milestone for Topuria, setting the stage for his ascent in the promotion. With this solid debut, he showed the world that he was ready for the challenges ahead and destined for greatness in the UFC. On March 13, 2021, Ilia Topuria faced Damon Jackson in the octagon. Fans were buzzing with excitement, eager to see if Topuria could continue his winning streak. As the fight began, the atmosphere was tense. Both fighters circled each other, looking for an opening. Then, just a minute into the first round, Topuria found his moment. With lightning speed, he launched a powerful right hand that connected perfectly with Jackson's chin. The crowd gasped in shock as Jackson fell to the mat. Time seemed to freeze as Topuria stood over him.
Body shots have now officially set up the headshot.
Adrenaline coursing through his veins. The referee rushed in, calling off the fight, and the arena erupted with cheers. Topuria had won by knockout in round 1. This quick finish showcased Topuria's explosiveness and finishing ability, solidifying his reputation as a dangerous fighter. The victory filled him with pride and excitement, proving he was ready for bigger challenges in the UFC. On March 19, 2022, Ilia Topuria faced Jai Herbert in a highly anticipated fight at UFC Fight Night. The excitement in the arena was palpable as fans cheered, eager to see what Topuria could do next. As the fight began, both fighters exchanged blows, testing each other's skills. Herbert was tough, but Topuria stayed focused, waiting for the right moment. The first round was intense, with each man landing solid shots, but neither could secure a finish. In the second round, the tension in the crowd grew thicker. Topuria knew he had to make a move. Suddenly, he saw an opening and unleashed a powerful left hook that landed squarely on Herbert's jaw. The impact was stunning, and the crowd erupted as Herbert hit the canvas. Topuria stood over him, heart racing with excitement as the referee stepped in to stop the fight. He had won by knockout in round 2. The victory showcased Topuria's ability to finish fights, thrilling the audience and proving he was a fighter to watch in the UFC. On December 10, 2022, Ilia Topuria faced Bryce Mitchell at UFC 282 in a highly anticipated matchup. The crowd was buzzing with excitement, knowing that Mitchell was a tough opponent. As the fight began, both fighters were cautious, feeling each other out. The first round was a back-and-forth battle, with both men landing punches. Topuria felt the pressure, but remained calm, focusing on his game plan. In the second round, the intensity rose. Topuria saw an opportunity and took Mitchell to the ground. The crowd held its breath as Topuria expertly moved into position. He locked in a rear naked choke, squeezing tightly. Mitchell fought hard, but soon he had no choice but to tap out. The arena exploded with cheers as Topuria celebrated his victory by submission. This win showcased his incredible grappling skills against a highly ranked opponent, proving he was a top contender in the UFC. On June 24, 2023, Ilia Topuria stepped into the octagon to face Josh Emmett at UFC on ABC 5.
Josh Emmett in black pressing forward, Ilia Topuria shelled up in red.
The energy in the arena was electric, as fans eagerly anticipated this tough matchup. As the fight started, Topuria immediately took control. He moved quickly, landing powerful punches and kicks that caught Emmett off guard. The crowd was on their feet, cheering with every strike. Topuria's confidence grew as he dominated each round, showcasing his skill and strategy. Emmett fought hard, but Topuria was relentless. He kept pushing the pace, landing shots that left Emmett struggling to keep up. By the end of the fight, it was clear that Topuria had won. The crowd erupted in cheers. Topuria had won by unanimous decision, proving his dominance against a tough opponent. This victory solidified his status as a top contender in the UFC, leaving fans excited for what was next. On February 10, 2024, Ilia Topuria stood in the octagon, ready to face Alexander Volkanovski at UFC 298. The crowd buzzed with excitement and tension. This was Topuria's chance to become the UFC featherweight champion, and he was determined to make it happen. As the fight began, both fighters exchanged punches and kicks, each looking for an opening. Topuria felt the pressure, knowing Volkanovski was a tough opponent. The first round was intense, with both men testing each other's skills. The crowd held its breath, unsure of who would come out on top. In the second round, Topuria knew he had to take risks. He moved forward, throwing quick strikes that connected with Volkanovski. The energy in the arena surged as Topuria saw an opening. With a swift combination of punches, he landed a powerful uppercut. Volkanovski crashing to the mat. The crowd erupted in cheers as the referee rushed in to stop the fight. Topuria had won by knockout in round 2. Joy and disbelief filled his heart as he realized he was now the UFC featherweight champion. This victory was not just a win, it showed the world that Topuria was a top contender in the UFC and a true champion. If you enjoyed this journey through Ilia Topuria's inspiring story, make sure don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on more intense UFC moments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time for even more interesting and thrilling fight stories.